I don't know why I keep doing that, where I'll click a scene just to click a scene and then it'll move over. Like, I don't know why I do that, but I do. So, you know, I actually have no idea what I want to stream today, and I think that's a problem because normally what I should be able to do is go live with an idea, some kind of segment or some kind of like thing that I'll have planned out, and I don't have that. So it makes it kind of, I would say, difficult to go live because I don't know really what I want to do, and that can cause a problem, I feel like. So when it comes to what I want to do, I know what I want to do at the moment is not something I can do right now, which is like undisclosed because I've kind of mentioned it but never really gave more information on it. So I'm not really going to do that because I can't do that just yet. What I would like to do instead is play like a PC game, for example. I mean, I could do that. I just have to stop recording. And if I'm playing a game that I'm not really needing to record in the first place, so it's kind of like a good, not back and forth, but more so like a good way to figure out what I want to do. I don't necessarily need to be recording to necessarily like get a, how do you say, clip, for example, because that would be nice. It's like, you know, if I could like get a clip, for example, and that would help, but I don't know exactly what I would do. How do I say that? Like, I there's some things I have to figure out. Like, I know that I said I want to go live every other day, so that means that I had all day yesterday to think about what I was going to do today, just like I have all day tomorrow to think about what I'm going to do Tuesday, right? So it's one of those things where I need to sit down and like really contemplate what to do, because I don't know what I want to do. Like, what I want to do is like find things that I can do, like video ideas, if you will, and then like just stream those video ideas, but I can't think of what I want to do. So the brainstorming part should be, I feel, done offline. It's not something that really should be done online, because if anything, it could be beneficial to be done offline, and then when it comes prime time to like, okay, go live and do it, then, you know, it'll already be in place. I already have the idea, got to execute it and then go from there. Like, I'm thinking about, like, let's say if I did reactions, for example, I know that if I were to do that, then the reactions would have to be something that I'd have to get curated. Like, imagine if I just go online, like a daily dose of internet, for example, or I don't know, you say the other person's name starts with like a K. I can't really, not that I can't, I really can. It's just I don't really want to, what's what I'm looking for? I feel like that well could run dry pretty fast, and it doesn't seem like it's an infinite thing I could just do. Reacting is one thing, sure, but it's like picking what to react to and what to talk about, because as someone who can talk a lot for no reason or to no end, it seems, it makes it difficult when there's nothing to talk about, or when you find nothing to talk about. So it's like, okay, well, I mean, I don't know really what to do or what to say. So outside of that, I could just be gaming, right? But the problem I have with that is there's so many games that I have that I don't really have the, for lack of a better word, mental capacity to pick what to play. Like, I have a whole Steam library full of games that I've downloaded because, or purchased because I really wanted to have those games, and I would like to document those games, but what I don't want to do is start a game and then it'd be something that I kind of forget about, like what I was doing with Chrono Trigger, because Chrono Trigger was the last game I started from my backlog that I still haven't touched, that I've made some progress in, but it'd be different if I was streaming it, because if I was streaming it, then it'd be easier for me to just continue it, because there's already like, you know, an audience watching it, which I did offline. So it makes it kind of difficult to say, okay, well, just finish Chrono Trigger on stream. I would have done that, or I would do that had I started it on stream. The same way it'd be easy for me to say, well, just finish or continue Metroid Prime. I didn't start it on stream. Like, I played it on stream, but I don't really want to continue it on stream if I've never actually started here. So that's 2 games I know I've already started, that I need to necessarily finish before I start another one, or I feel like my rule is to finish one before you start another one. So I can't really do that if I've already, done that to 2 games now. So unless I were to find another game to start, and then I feel like it's easy. Me personally, I feel like it's easy to start up a stream, go through the stream with a, what am I looking for? What's what I'm looking for? With a game that has a beginning and an end, right? Because there are millions of games out there. You just have to pick the games you want to play, and it's almost like I don't want to do multiplayer games on stream unless I have other people to play with, or like some kind of, I guess, like, I know there's PvE, PvP. I guess like player versus player games would be like Mario Kart, for example. You can play Mario Kart whenever, and I don't think I'd want to play that unless it was like a community thing, like where, okay, well, community night, for example, where we, I put up a lobby, hopefully everybody has a Switch 2 by then, hopefully you get a Switch 2, and then we can play that way from whenever World comes out. But for the time being, 8 Deluxe would be the one to start with, or to play currently, because that's when it's available, and then playing through that, and that'll just be until I get tired. Like there's no goal in the end unless I made a goal. So like if I play Mario Kart, okay, I want to get first in at least 3 races back to back, right? Like aiming Mario Kart, but I'm aiming for first, or Mario Kart, but I can't come in last, or whatever, or Mario Kart, but I can't come in second, right? Those are stream ideas that would be easy video ideas, if you will. Something people have done before, obviously, but just something that would be like, I guess multiplayer games feel like there's no end until like you win in a battle royale, until you get a good KD in Call of Duty, or if there's a way to end it, but it's something that has to be I guess not premeditated, if that's the right word to use, but you have to think about it. You can't just like start up and then, unless you do it on the fly. So I can try that. Like, let's say I want to beat 10 Mario Maker levels in less than 10 minutes. Okay, sure. I mean, like if I were to do like super expert, right? Then not super expert. If I were to do popular expert, right? Like I want to beat 10 popular, or let's say 5 popular expert levels in 10 minutes. Okay, I mean that's like, okay, you got 10 minutes to do it, right? Now what happens if you don't do it? Right? Because if I do it, then I'm just showing off. Like it's me allowing myself to show off. But what if I don't do it? Like what if I don't make that? What if I don't do it? Then I feel like there's like, I don't say it like an incentive, but like there's something I have to think about of like what I have to do to make that happen. Because people have done the normal run-of-the-mill things. You go bald, you dye your hair, you eat a vial of like hot sauce or whatever. You do a whole bunch of random things, right? Anything that would be something you don't want to do. And I guess I have to think of those things, because those video game ideas are pretty easy to execute. Because most of the hard work is already done. You already have the game system, you already have the game. You just have to come up with the idea and then do the idea. And once you do the idea, then you focus on whether or not you can do the idea effectively, like you can execute properly, or if you can't execute properly. And then, okay, when you do execute properly, okay, great. Whatever you said would be the ramifications, if you will, you don't have to abide by. But if you don't execute correctly, then okay, well, yeah, go eat that hot sauce, go bald, or dye your hair, whatever, cut your beard off. I've already done that, so I can't do that. I mean, not that I can't do it again, but I don't really need to do it again. So just coming up with, like, I guess it feels like reasons to go live, because playing a game that has a beginning and an end is easy, right? That's preferred. I would do that once I know there are not games in my list that I haven't already started. So for example, I guess I need to finish Chrono Trigger, I need to finish Metroid Prime offline, because those are games that I've already started offline. Whereas if I go live with, let's say, whatever the next game on my backlog is, which I'm going to go ahead and pull that up here, because it's easy for me to just pull it up. don't know why it never keeps it. Like, why is it so difficult to just keep it up? Like the information. I mean, why do I have to sign in again? Okay, whatever. Okay, so let me go to OBS over here. Okay, so here's my current backlog, right? So with the games on here, the green ones are games I've already finished. So right now you see Chrono Trigger is the one that I have in blue, because blues are the ones that are currently being played. I don't believe Metroid Prime is on this list. Okay, well blue ones, because you see Sin and Punishment right here. Blue ones are ones that I've started but are still currently going through, not necessarily ones that I'm currently playing, because I've played Sin and Punishment but never actually like finished it. Like I never actually got into like the end, if you will, to like mark it green. And most of these games are archived, or like some of these games are archived, not all of them. Like some of these games I've already played, right? Like just by me playing them. Mario Brothers, obviously I played Super Mario Brothers countless times. Lost Levels I played over on Twitch, but I don't think I ever saved it. Mario Brothers 2 USA I've played, that's on the YouTube channel. Mario Brothers 3 I've played. I don't know if it's on the YouTube channel. It probably is. I don't know actually. Let me see. Okay, no. Apparently I did not. Okay, so I played Mario Brothers 3. There's no documentation of me playing it through like a VOD. Legend of Zelda we played online. Oh no, like we played Legend of Zelda 2 technically should be blue. This one technically should be blue, because I don't think I've ever actually finished this game actually. And that's a different blue actually. This blue. Okay, yeah, I gotta change this. Let me go back over here. It's probably like this one. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so technically that's one that well, I guess if that's the case, I'll just remove it, because I technically haven't played it. So we'll just reset that one. That's one I need to play. Donkey Kong, again, that's one you can just play whenever. Mega Man's I haven't played, so I played Donkey Kong Country. That one's documented. I don't want to say how I finished it, but it is documented on the channel. Not one that I've actually, I would say, enjoyed playing. You can see all of them say no. So that's not really, you know, I'm not proud or happy that the fact that I played that one. Kirby Superstar we've technically played. I would mark that one as orange. I mean orange, blue. And you know, these I haven't played just yet. So there are definitely games on here that I can start, excuse me, or that I can actually play, but that I haven't. So that's why I'm like, okay, well, let me figure out the best way to play those games, and then kind of not cycle back, but kind of, you know, go back through it. For this game, Metroid Prime. So yeah, this one is let me undo what I just did. Metroid Prime should be in the blue. That's what I'm playing currently right now. Okay, now that I think about it too, some of these games don't really have an end. Like for example, well, technically they do, and some games do, some games don't. Like technically speaking, NFO Street 2 does have a beginning and end, because there's a story mode. Like there's like a career mode you can play that I've played back when the game first came out, but I haven't. There's no documentation of it. So maybe what I should do is change this list to be a thing where if it's green, it's documented, right? Or rather, if it's red, let's say if I make it like a faint red, like a pinkish red, then those games are documented. Like those are games that have been streamed to YouTube, so that way that it's easy to tell, okay, well, these games have been, you know, I can go back and pull these games or whatever. So, and then yeah, so maybe I have to find a different color, maybe like whatever color this is, maybe. So like, okay, Prime. But okay, so I think I should make like a legend, but I don't know where that legend would go. Maybe I can add like a above. Yeah, so let me just do that. Let me add a few of these above, so that way each line indicates something. And then let's reset these for color. wish I can kind of just like clear out, like if I wish I could do, I don't know how to do it, but have this just go straight across, so that way whatever I'm typing here doesn't affect the rest of it. But I don't really know how to do that, so you know, what I'm gonna do here is say green is like I played it finished, right? And I read the whole thing for that. Okay. Okay, so this was going to be currently playing. Okay, so that's how you do it. Just go straight across. Okay. Or it'll keep going. Like if you keep typing, it'll just keep going. That's interesting. So the question now is, how do I categorize games that I've actually archived, like played and archived, right? So let's see. I think it was, where was I? Right here. Video archive available on YouTube. Right? So if I do that, the question then becomes, I'd have to go through and, because if it's archived, then that means, yeah, okay, so yeah, I think, okay, that's good. So eventually you want, I think we should change the colors around. We should make this games that I've actually like, games I'm currently playing should be yellow. So let's do that. Kirby Superstar, I never actually finished. So let's make that color. Chrono Trigger, I've technically started but never finished. Sin and Punishment, I've started but never finished. Metroid Prime, I've started but haven't finished. And I think that's, okay, no, not yet. All Out World, technically I've started but never finished. Interesting. Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Yeah. Final Fantasy 15. Yeah. Okay, cool. So games that I've started but haven't finished are that color. So games that are blue, let's make those like archive evidence is available, right? Or actually, let's make those green. Yeah, let's because eventually what I would like is for everything to be green, right? We want everything to be green eventually. So that means that we should get it to where if an archive is available, then it needs to be green. So yeah, let me, okay, yeah. Let me redo that. Okay, so let's cut that. Put this here. Cut that. Okay, I see. Okay, I see what I'm messing up here. So we want that here. Okay, okay, I'm gonna have to redo it, but I know where I want everything. So I want played and finished right here, but I want those to be blue, and I want those to be yellow. Okay, so yeah, so played and finished, video archive available. YouTube archive if need be on a per game basis. Okay, so what that means is that if I've gone through and so now that now I need to go through and just redo all those. So this let's say played slash okay no let's just say played but no archive video archive available. Why do I keep hitting the I? Okay, so play but no video archive on YouTube available. Consider playing again on a per game basis. Okay, so now that means okay, so games I've played but never actually, you know, let me add one more above this actually, just so we can clear it. Gonna add a straight line across. Okay, yeah, sure, that works for me. Okay, so Lost Levels I did play, but there's no archive of that, or there's no video archive of it. I don't really want to play Lost Levels over again. There's an archive of that one. There's not an archive of this game. That's the wrong color. Legend of Zelda, there's one. Link's Awakening, I technically never played, I guess, so there's that. Who hasn't played Donkey Kong, so that's why that'll be that color. Kirby's Adventure we did. Punch-Out, I don't think I've ever played, actually. Okay, Super Mario World, there is no archive of, well, is there? I don't think there is. Interesting. I don't think there is an archive of Super Mario World. Live. Huh, I guess not. Well, I mean, who hasn't played? Again, like for me, like who I had definitely have played Super Mario Brothers, but I'm gonna mark it as blue because technically there's no, Super Metroid we did play. There's archive of that. Link to the Past, there isn't an archive of. I mean, there's a beginning of it, but there's no actual archive. So we'll go ahead and mark that as that. Donkey Kong, there is an archive of that. I'm pretty sure. Kirby Superstar, Chrono Trigger, Super Mario 64, there is no archive of it. I've played it many a time. Mario Kart 64, there's no archive of. We don't really need an archive of that, really. But, Ocarina of Time, of course, I played that. But we'll make that blue. Star Fox. Yeah, most of these games are going to be blue because most of these games have not necessarily been finished. Like, I've played Yoshi's Story and F-Zero I've played, but I never actually finished. So, Smash Brothers again, like there's arcade mode in Smash Brothers, so technically we can. So this is where the per basis or the per game basis comes in, because I have to then evaluate: do I really want to replay or stream Super Smash Brothers 64? For the sake of having it on the thing. Like I don't really need to. You know what I'm saying? Like I can, but I don't need to. And so the same with like Excitebike. Like I don't really need to. That's not really a game that needs to be, stream, like archived, if you will. Like I can, I don't need video archival of me doing that. I can. I don't really need it. So like Sunshine, I haven't played. Double Dash, or I've played. Okay, so we can do that. I've played Double Dash or Sunshine, but never actually like finished it. Double Dash, of course. I've gotten all the gold like the trophies in that. Twilight Princess I've played. There's no archive of it, or actually, yeah, I played it on Twitch before, but there's no, this is before I was streaming on YouTube. So Wind Waker I've played before, like I've started it, but I haven't actually finished it. So I believe those are meant to be. Okay, no. So these are supposed to be for game. I'm not following rules. These are supposed to be for games that I've actually finished. Star Fox I've played. Yoshi Story I've played. F-Zero. Yeah, this is a bit of a weird one because I don't necessarily know my own. I'm not following my own rules that I'm trying to abide by. So Zero Mission, okay, there's an archive of Zero Mission. And yeah, so played and finished. Okay, played and finished are ones that are green. So blue ones are meant to be for games that I've played, but there's no footage. That's the thing, is that there's no footage. That's what it's supposed to be for. So let me go back from the top. I played Super Mario Brothers. There's footage of me doing that. I've played Lost Levels. There's no footage of that. I've played Super Mario Brothers 2. Let me get this 2 off of here. There we go. I've played Super Mario Brothers 2. There's no footage of that. Okay, but there is footage of that. Super Mario Brothers 3. I've played. There's no footage of it. Zelda we played. There's no footage of it. Zelda 2. Nope, haven't done that. Donkey Kong. I've played. Necessarily haven't beaten. So technically, if I've played it but not finished, it's meant to be yellow. Okay. Like, it's like, did you finish it at all? And if the answer is no, then it's yellow. Okay. Kirby's Adventure, yes, there's footage of that. Super Mario World, I've played it. There's no footage of it. RPG, there is footage of that. Metroid, there's footage of that. Link to the Past, I've finished. There is no footage of it. Country, yes, we've played that. There's no footage. This technically, there is footage, but I never actually finished it. So we'll treat this as if I played it, because there is a thing up, but there really isn't. That's the game I'm gonna have to really play. 64 I've played. There is no footage. 64 for Kart I've played, but there is no footage. Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time I played. There's no footage. Star Fox played, no footage. Story I know I've played it, but I don't believe there's footage of it. Yeah, I know there's no footage of it on YouTube. F-Zero X, I believe, yes, I've played, but never finished. So this is technically a yellow one, because we've played it but never finished it. So Donkey Kong 64 never played. Crystal Shards I've played I'm gonna say I've played so little of it that I never actually played it. I'll put it that way. Smash we've played, but there's no footage. Right? That's again one of those things you kind of have to evaluate whether or not you need footage of that. Excitebike I've played, but there is no footage of that. So we'll mark that yellow. Like I've technically never finished it. So that's the thing. I think it has to go in that order. Have you finished the game? Yes or no? No, then it's yellow. Yes, then the question becomes, is there footage of it? No, okay, then it's green or blue. Yeah. Sin and Punishment, no. Mario Sunshine, I've played, but there's no, I guess we could put this as yellow. I never actually finished it. So yeah, I guess you have to ask first, have you finished it? Double Dash, have you finished it? Yes. Is there footage of it? No. So that's blue. Twilight Princess, have you finished it? I have, but there's no footage of it. Windbreaker, I've started, but never finished. So that's yellow. Metroid Prime, I'm currently playing. Kirby Air Ride, I technically would put that as, because I played it, but never actually finished it. So that's like yellow. Path of Radiance, I never played. Melee, I've played, there's no footage of it. So that would technically go under blue, I guess. Under blue. Thank you. This one, NFL Street, I have finished, but there's no footage of it. Okay, see, now we're kind of keeping up with it. Tetris is not really a game you can finish, I would say. And it's so short, like there's no really need to like figure out, So what we'll do then is Let's make it, okay, have I finished the game? I don't think there's an end to Tetris. So I'm gonna put yellow because technically I haven't finished it. Like if the answer to finished is no, then it's yellow. Dr. Mario, that one I have not finished. I played, but I have not finished it. Because again, it's like, I mean, how do you get, So Mario vs. Donkey Kong, I have played. There's no footage of it. Super Circuit, I have played. There's no footage of that. Zero Mission, I have played. Really good game. There is footage of it. Backyard Basketball, I've played to the ends of the earth and back, but there's no footage of it, so that's going to be blue. Okay, New Super Mario Bros. I've played. There's no footage. Oops, 3-on-3. There is an end to it, but there's no footage. Mario Kart DS, I guess you can get like the... What did I do for like 64? Blue, yeah, because there's... I feel like I've definitely gotten all of the trophies in it, but there's no footage of that. Mario Party, there's no footage of that either, because I've definitely played that. I don't think I finished everything, so yeah. Okay, most of these games I have not played. Okay, New Super Mario Bros. Wii, I've played, there's no footage. Galaxy, I've played, there's no footage unfortunately. Those are games I know I've streamed before. Mario Kart Wii, played, no footage. Sports Mix, the same thing. Twilight Princess, this is technically the one I've played. I'm gonna come back to that real quick because I need to go back up and see how I did it for the other one. So with this Skyward Sword, I have played. There's no footage of it. Well, I may have footage, but there's no footage on YouTube of it. Like there's no quick link to throw to someone to say, no, this is me playing Skyward Sword. Like I've definitely beaten the game, but just there's no video proof available on YouTube on my channel at the time. Country Returns, I've technically played, but I haven't finished, so that's yellow. Return to Dreamland, I've played, but never finished. City Folk, I've definitely played, but haven't finished. Prime Trilogy, no, technically that shouldn't be on here. I'm gonna leave it on here, but it technically shouldn't be on here. Brawl, Subspace Emissary, I guess, if you had to pick something, I've played, but have not finished it. Wii Fit Plus, come on now. We play, yeah, I'm gonna technically put these in like, I guess, I mean, you gotta put them somewhere, so I'll just do that. Do I have Wii Sports on here? I don't. Let me add one above. Okay, I said above, but then we can delete this one. And let's do Wii Sports. Where's the other one then? I see Wii Sports Resort. So where is that? Okay, I don't think there's a time frame on how long you can beat it. So we'll make this a game where like I've played, like in terms of like rank, like getting to like pro rank in those games. I'm gonna mark that as like played but haven't finished, right? Brawl, I've played, haven't finished. I mean, there's no footage of it. We play. I mean, how do you? Yeah, those are games you can't really finish. Wii Fit Plus, we play, you can't really finish those games. Wii Sports Resort, I've played, but I'm gonna make that like, I guess technically yellow, because I don't know if there's a pro rank. There may be, but I just don't know if there is. Xenoblade, never played it. Tatsunoko, again, there's no end to that game. Tenkaichi Skated, I've played, but I kind of wish I hadn't. I actually wish I hadn't played that game, so I'm gonna mark that color. Okay, Nintendo Land 3D World, there's no footage, so that's that color. Mario Maker, again, there's no end to that game, but I guess if I had to do like a endless, not endless, but what is it? Not super. Okay, expert run. I have footage of it, but it's just not. It's not. How do you say? There's no footage of it. I guess. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. So let's just make that color. Call of Duty, I've played. This I have not played, or actually, I have played this, but I never finished it. So we'll just make it that. Twilight Princess. This is where it gets kind of strange because like these are like the like the HD versions. So we'll make that orange, yellow, because I technically haven't played the HD version. Like, I haven't finished it. So, Splatoon. If I have to go off like the story mode, I have not finished it. Tropical Freeze I've played, but you know, just to play it. So we'll mark that yellow. Star Fox Zero, I actually surprisingly have not finished. Rainbow Curse, Bayonetta, I've played a little bit of it, but I played so little that I'm not going to mark it as like I've played it. Smash for Wii U, there is no real end outside of like what is like our arcade or like classic mode, so we'll mark that blue. Wii Sports Club I've played but never finished, or like never got to like a pro rank or like something like that. I guess I'm going off of like beginning, like is there a beginning, is there an end kind of thing. Tokyo Mirage I've played, never finished. Treasure Trove I have played, but there's no footage of it. I've actually beaten it, there's no footage. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, no footage of that unfortunately. Odyssey, there's no footage of me beating it. ARMS I've played, but like, you know, how do you there's no end to those games. 3D All Stars, again, there is an end to it, but that's a game I'm just gonna mark that green. Like, I don't know, because maybe what I'll do is go through and find like a different color, like orange, for example, where orange is like, I have beaten it, but I'm not gonna make another video. I'm not gonna make footage of it. It's just like a game you pick up and put down. So I'll make another category once I'm done going through all this, and I'll kind of reevaluate. Mario Party Superstars, again, like that'll be probably one of those games where it's like you don't really need a, how do I say this? Some of these games don't need footage, archived footage of it. You know, you don't really need it. Kirby in the Forgotten Land I have played, but I streamed it, but those streams are not saved. Unfortunately, Smash Ultimate Spirit Mode I have finished, but I did not have footage of it. Like, that's something I just unfortunately have to like redo. So All Out Reward I've not finished. Final Fantasy VII I've technically started, but have not finished either. Like for the OG like PS1 version. Okay, so Pro Skater, Tekken 3, Crash Bandicoot, technically we've started, but never actually finished. Tetris Plus, you don't know if there's an end to that. NFL Blitz, again, okay, that's technically blue. This is technically blue. This is technically blue as well, because there's no real end to those games, aside from like arcade mode. You know, so that could be like, that's a single stream, but you just do that just to say, okay, well, hey, look, I'm playing this game. So, CTR, Chess, Siphon Filter, K1 Revenge. Like I've technically, like for example, K1 Revenge I've played, but I've never actually like, you know, I don't have any foot. So that'll technically be orange, yellow actually. So NFL Street for PS2, again, like I've played. I might have to like kind of go back and decide where I want that to be. Attack of the Twonkies I actually have played, but never actually finished. Namco Museum, well, see, that's the thing. These games I have and I've played, but I don't actually have like footage of most of them, right? Most of this list is like, of course I've played these games, but I never actually like finished them. So it's like all these games could technically be like all yellow, technically, except for the ones I actually have not like started. Like I never started Lost Legacy for Uncharted. I never started Ghost of Tsushima. I've technically started these games, so I guess they can be. You know, that's the thing too. Like for me, games I've technically like started. Like I think to me there's a difference between booting up a game and then getting like 25%, 40%, 50% into a game. Because these games I never actually like I've started Final Fantasy VII Remake. I've started Final Fantasy 15, but I didn't just turn them on, nor did I like actually complete them. So that's why they're yellow. Hyper Light Drifter, I've definitely beaten that game. Really good game, I would say. Never recorded it though, because there's like footage, but that footage is not saved. Same with Guacamelee. Red Dead Redemption 2 I've played. Also another game I really like, but there's no footage of it. Perfect Dark Zero. I think that was like a game I got like on on disc, like yeah, Perfect Dark Zero is Perfect Dark and Perfect Dark Zero are two different games. Perfect Dark is the one on N64. Perfect Dark Zero is the one on Xbox. I think 360, if I'm not mistaken. Cyberpunk I've started. Unfortunately, I've not finished it. And then these games like I have, or just just never finished them. Choice Chamber, no. Blade Assault, Blasphemous. I played Blasphemous, but I never finished it. Like I didn't get so far as to where like it's like okay, well you have to like pick up where you left off. So I think with the exception of DS games, most of these games I've like played before but never actually like finished. So I think our list is pretty good. Like Mario Brothers, like I've played Mario Brothers, but I never actually like I've never seen like the end of it, So I think we're pretty good on this list. So yeah. So now with that being said, the question then comes in to ask, what do I do next? Because I feel like once I take the time out to finish or start, not start, but to finish the games I know I'm currently like in right now, like which is basically Chrono Trigger and Metroid Prime, then like those are the games I have most recent knowledge of, or most recent knowledge of playing it. So those are the games that would be beneficial to actually get on and play. So with that, I need to finish Chrono Trigger on my own time. I need to finish what's the other one I'm thinking of? Metroid Prime. And then the rest of these are just games that are just gonna have to be like, okay, well look man, you're gonna have to get on it, So and I can't think of which game it'll be. You would think you would just go in order, like, okay, well then theoretically the next game you would play would be Zelda 2 or Super Mario Kart, just to say that you played it. And I could, like, that would definitely give me like a game to play. It would give me a, how do you say, it would definitely give me a segment. It would basically give me a segment. I could say, okay, well cool, I'm coming on, I'm going to talk my head off for like an hour or so about whatever, and then I can take the rest of that time to play the game. And I think that'll work. I think that should work, because then that way I incorporate two types of streams. I'm doing like a just chatting where if people come in I can talk to them. If nobody comes in, then I'm just talking about whatever I wanted to talk about. And like maybe like upcoming ideas, maybe I could do that. Maybe I could take that time and actually consider or contemplate ideas that I do want to do for like future streams. Like I can take that time on stream to talk about, take the time to stream to talk about streams or whatever, or whatever event happens, or whatever event happened in the past or whatever. So I could do that. I could do that, yes. So I will look into the next best things to do concerning that. As far as today, I mean, I could technically I could play Mario Maker, I guess, but I don't know how time I want to do that for. Maybe like, I don't know, man. I really don't know. Like, I guess just until I get tired of it, like I can open up the viewer queue and then go from there. But I also feel like this is not a bad, thing. To me, it's like, what do I really want to take out of streaming, for example? Because I don't like being labeled or labeling myself as, a streamer. So when it comes to figuring out how to maneuver that, I'm trying to think, okay, if I take the time out of my day to go live, what am I doing while I'm live that makes me want to go live? Okay, well, I'm taking games off the backlog because I'm streaming them. Okay, that's one thing. I really want to play this one game, but I want to have like this challenge. Okay, cool. That's one thing. Like, let's say I've already played Mario Brothers, to the ends of the earth and back. If I want to play it again, I can play it again, but I want to have like some kind of challenge that I'm doing. Like, okay, well, you don't take any damage whatsoever. You can't use just can't take any damage, for example. And then that would be me trying to execute that. So I think that would be the thing, and then I have to figure out, what do you say? I have to figure out, I guess, stakes. Like I have to figure out what, if I lose, then this happens, kind of thing. Which would incentivize me not to lose, because I obviously don't want to abide by whatever I'm going to make myself go through if I don't win. So that's all something I have to kind of consider. So I think I'll take the time out. I didn't really want to do this. I didn't want to do this stream like this today, but I kind of have to. I kind of, there's not really much of a choice. I won't say much of a choice I have, but like there's no other way around it. So unless I were to come through and be like, okay, well, look, I'm going to do this today. Like I don't think I'm able to start this today, because that kind of goes back to what I was saying before about not having everything I need to even do this, like today, or to start like right now. I can't effectively, in the way I want to, can't effectively start doing what I want to do concerning this list today. And that's a bit unfortunate, but I just need, I don't want to say more time on that, but once I get to a point where I'm actually comfortable or willing to start the way I said I want to start, then it'll be no problem for me to just continue doing it that way. So I guess with that being said, unless like I'm immediately stricken with a new idea to start, like as we speak, I'm not really going to start anything today. It's just going to be, okay, well, like this today was like more of like a coming up with a game plan, because in days, because I feel like over time, as this list is more, like as more games are added to this list, and like I buy new things off Steam or whatever the case may be, once this backlog is actually completed, then it'll be easier for me to come up with more ideas, because like I've already played the game, so I already have an idea of like how I can execute, and then we can get into things like housing challenges. So we have to play the base game first, and then we can find challenges based on those games, like how fast can I beat the dungeon, like like the first dungeon in Zelda, right, for NES. Like that could be a challenge where I can figure that out and then go that way. But I don't want to do that on the first playthrough, like that's something that has to be done, I feel like, once the game is finished, because I don't want to have my initial view on a video game be that of a challenge. It's more so of like, okay, well, you played the game for what the game is, and then you went back and tried to challenge yourself to do certain things in that game, right? That could be its own kind of why you going live kind of a thing. Like what kind of, not content you're trying to make. I don't want to think of it like content, but what are you trying to get out of going live, for example? So it is a bit of coping, honestly. It's just I'm trying to keep myself sane. I don't want to go live for the sake of going live, because if I keep doing that, I'm just gonna be sitting here like this. For like 4 hours, and I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to sit here for 4 hours just staring at the camera, deep in the sensor of this, deep in the sensor of this camera right here. I don't want to do that. And most people don't want to see me do that anyways. Even if I had to forego thinking about or take into consideration what others don't want to see me do, which is this own like whole can of worms, then I have to first come to peace with why I'm doing this in the first place. And the peace I found is going through this list and figuring out, okay, what games am I going to play? Like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? Right? So that way I actually have that peace, if you will, So once I actually do that, it'll be easier for me to go through it, because I don't think I'm going to have, even once, God willing, once we get to a point where this list is all green, because that's kind of the goal, is to have this list be all green with a few exceptions of like, I'm not playing this game again just for the sake of having video footage of it, then I can go back and say, okay, well, look, this new game just released on Steam, I purchased, we can play that game, right? And then we can play this game and that game, and then as more games come out, it'll be easier to just say, hey, I'm playing this, I'm playing that, because there's no longer a backlog of games I have to go finish, right? That's the ultimate goal. Like, the goal is to get to a point where something drops and we can play it immediately without having to worry about, man, did I finish that game I was playing before, right? So I think the game plan right now is to finish Chrono Trigger off stream, finish Metroid Prime off stream, because those are two games I'm currently playing, or two games I've actually started but haven't finished, amongst all these other games that I've marked yellow for games that I've started but never finished. But those are the two games in most recent history that I know I've started, but need to actually finish. So that way, when I come back, it'll be easier for me to say, okay, cool, we're picking up Zelda 2, or we're picking up Super Punch Out, or we're picking up NFL Street Volume 3. Like those are things I'll be able to pick up and just run with, because it's almost like I'm planning out the content now, which again, I don't like calling it content, because it makes it feel like I'm working for it, and I don't want to feel like I'm working for something that's, I don't say so mundane, but something that doesn't really bring me true, I guess, happiness. Like creating content doesn't bring me real happiness. Being able to play the game while simultaneously like archiving it, I find more peace and happiness there than saying I'm doing this for content's sake. So once all that's done, I feel like I'll be in a good headspace. Not we, I'm pretty sure you guys are fine, but I'll be in a better headspace. You know what I'm saying? That's real. I appreciate that, because it's like, I feel like that's something that's so much, it's something that you don't think about it until you really sit down and feel like, bro, why am I doing this? Right? Like, I'll be completely honest with you. The amount of stuff on this desk, the amount of things I've amassed over the time I've been streaming, or just like saying that I've showing interest in technology, I have so much to show for it, but I have so little. I have so much to show, but nothing to show at the same time. Like I have something to physically show you, but I have no actual. There's no benefit. There's no tangible benefit to any of this besides these monitors, these consoles, these games, these amiibos, this camera, this green screen, this mic. This is all tangible stuff that I don't need to be able to show that I have the actual work from it. Yeah, you got this camera, but where's the work that you have to show for it? Yeah, you have this microphone, but where's the work? Like, there's no work, right? You can show up to class with a binder full of paper, a book, a bag full of pencils, right? A bag to hold all that stuff with. You can have the tangible the physicality of it, but where's your actual work on the assignment I gave you? Show your work. I don't have any work for that. I do have work, but the amount of work I have does not compare to what I've amassed, and to me that's sad. I think that's really sad for me. I'm being hard on myself because anybody else being hard on me won't hit as hard, if that makes any sense. I have nothing to show for it. So with that being said, the best way for me to find peace and simultaneously have something to show for it is to actually put the things I have to use. And the best way for me to do that is to tackle the list of games I know I have. So that way, when I'm done tackling this list, it'll be easier for me to pick up Donkey Kong Bonanza and just play it. That's the game I'm probably not even be able to switch to, a conversation aside, availability and pricing and all that stuff aside. By the time that game comes out, I won't be done with this list. So it's going to be another game just add to this list, which that's kind of sad. Like I don't want that to be the case. Right? Like imagine, this is where the whole for content's sake part of me like kind of dies a little bit, because I don't want to have this mentality. Imagine I get to a point where I'm playing Donkey Kong Bonanza knowing this list exists just for the sake of saying I'm playing it because everybody else is playing it, and it's like the zeitgeist for it is as hot as it's ever going to be because the game just released, right? Like the game will be as hot as it ever will be on July 17th when it comes out. That it would be a disservice to me in this list, in the games I've amassed, all this physicality that I have in front of me, to do that. I don't want to have to do that, right? The content part of me, of anybody, would say, yeah, go ahead and play Donkey Kong Bonanza first. Play Mario Kart World first, right? Which is going to be hard because it's like, how do I not play Mario Kart World the day it comes out? How do I not play Donkey Kong Bonanza the day it comes out? No longer have this list. It's going to be one of those things where it's like, I want to like balance and like teeter-totter, right? Okay, guys, hey, listen, we're playing Zelda 2 today, and then Bonanza comes out tomorrow. I'm going to have to hustle. I'm either going to have to hustle to finish Zelda 2, which is not going to be easy, or I'm going to have to forget about it and play Bonanza, right? Finish Bonanza, then come back to it and be like, hey, what was I doing in Zelda 2 again? I don't want to do that. I think that's a headache waiting to happen. I can see myself putting the bullets in my brain far down the road. I'm not trying to do that. Like that's too much mental gymnastics that I've already gone through just to do it all over again. You know, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour of backflipping down the highway, just to backflip down the highway again in reverse, just to do it all over again. Like that's, you can already see how mentally straining that is, and I'm not trying to do that. So all that being said, I think today was a good day for me to just talk out, and I don't feel like I do this enough. I need to talk out what I'm going to be doing, because it's one thing for me to hear it in my brain, right? But it's another thing for me to actually hear myself say it, right? Like I should play Lost Levels again. I could be thinking, okay, I can see why you want to do that, but if I go and actually say it out loud, I should play Lost Levels again. You know how crazy that sounds? Lost Levels is a really bad game. A lot of people don't want to agree to that because they just, or diehard Mario fans don't want to agree to that because it's a Mario game. I've played Lost Levels. I don't want to have to do that again because I didn't have fun playing that game. And I don't think I'll have fun playing it again. So I don't want to have to, play that game again, right? So I think I'm in a good spot. I think me talking out loud is a good way for me to hear myself actually come up with solidify the ideas I'm thinking, and I think that's good. Like I said earlier, I could take, like I'm doing right now, an hour or so just talking about whatever, to myself, to this camera, to these amiibos up here on my desk, on top of my monitors, right? As if they're the people watching, because that's so crazy. I just said that, and that's such a crazy thing to say. That's a crazy person's mentality. Like, there's nobody in my chat. I'm not saying this, but just imagine. Just stick with me for a second. There's nobody in the chat, right? But I'm talking to my Mario amiibo. I'm talking to this Iron Man figure. I'm talking to this Joker amiibo. I'm talking to this Isabelle. Like that's such a crazy, bro. How am I not in a straitjacket? Like that's a crazy thing to say, right? However, the same way you would talk to a camera in a room with nobody here, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you, right? I'm talking to you, right? The way I'm doing that is in a way no different than talking to, because if anything, I'm talking to like as if they're there, but that's crazy. So maybe don't talk to your amiibos like that, but at least talk to the camera, right? Because the camera is like in a way the only thing that you're directly talking to it. I'm like talking to a microphone because you have to talk into it, but you get what I mean, hopefully. So with that being said, and I say that a lot, with that being said, but with that being said, I think this is a good way for me to talk it out, right? Because imagine just so you're aware, all this talking I do has to start up here first. So there's, how do I describe this? There's a collective in a chamber of voices, just of thoughts, not so much as voices, but just like thoughts, they project as voices, but they're just random thoughts of, hey, what do I stream today? What do I eat after I'm done streaming? What do I want to go do tomorrow? Should I call my friend? Should I talk to my mom today? Should I go do this? Do I have any gas in my car? What's the PSI on my tires? Like there's so many different trains of thought that go on up here that explains why I talk as much as I do, because it's just when I talk, I'm zoning in on any one of those thousands or millions of thoughts that I'm going through, like most people do. But I would say some people have a better control over, letting what goes on up here comes out of here. So for me, it could be a whole, you see it, like you see how, those trains of thoughts just come from wherever. So, or not from wherever, but they expel once you actually open your mouth or whatever. So I don't think I'll be playing a game today. I would like to. I just don't know what I want to play. And games that are like I was saying earlier, multiplayer games that I can just play whenever. I feel like I don't want to play unless there's like a video idea coming out of it, or like there's like some kind of challenge I want to complete. I don't want to think of it as a video idea, because again, I don't want to be seen as like a content creator, because that feels like it feels like, in all honesty, me trying to be a content creator makes it to where I'm working for that. But again, as I said earlier, I may not have any work to show for it, or my work may not be considered good enough, not by others, but by me. So if I say I want to make a video, because I've done this before, I want to make a video where I try to beat Mario Maker 2 levels in under 5 minutes. Okay, sure. You do that idea, you stream it, you record it, you edit it, you upload it, and that metric, the normal metric of success, is measured by how many people watch it, how many likes you get, stuff like that, right? Whereas if I do that same thing, if I just take away the aspect of the success being based off of how many people watch the video, how many people like the video, then those two metrics are usually KPIs of a content creator. A content creator usually looks at the amount of views the video gets, the amount of likes it gets, as ways to success, which is nothing wrong with that. That's what being a content creator is. When you fully accept the responsibilities of it, if you will. I don't have a better way to use the responsibilities, but when you accept the mentality of it, if you will, sure, mentality is whatever. So what I would rather do, me personally, is have it to where I thought it'd be funny, because it really comes down to that. I thought it'd be funny, or I thought I'd have a good time doing it, where I just so happen to have a video of me playing Mario Kart, trying to get first place, but anytime I don't get first place, X happens or Y happens or whatever, right? Like kind of like that old video idea, or that old video concept idea of, this but this, right? Like FL Studio, but I use chat submitted sounds, for example, which is something people have done that before. I don't think there's anything wrong with having video ideas. I just don't want to accept the part of it where if I make that idea and I put it out there, that me saying I enjoy doing that, or I had fun doing that, is based on the amount of views or likes it gets. Because I could say I had fun, but then turn right around and say I'm not gonna do it again because only 10 people watched it. It didn't get any likes. Did I have fun doing it? Yeah, okay, well, I'll do it again. Like I'd rather that than the other thing, because I feel like that mentality works for when someone is successful or has that what's the word I'm looking for? When they have those metrics to back up like their ideas, and I'm not there yet. And I feel like that's the difference, is that I am not there. So even if I was there, it still benefits enjoying the actual process of it. Because if you don't enjoy the process of it, not you, if I don't enjoy the process of it, then I'm not gonna do it again, right? But my enjoyment should not be based off of a number. It should be based off of how much fun I had, right? Whether or not I really enjoyed myself, whether or not I feel comfortable sharing that video. Like if I did that video and showed my mom, if my mom says like, oh, you seem like you had fun, that's all success I would need, because that's all success I can really get. If I get the metric of my mom liked the video that I made, okay, great. Hey mom, what do you think of this? What do you think of this picture I drew? So we'll put it in the fridge. I already won, right? Like I don't. It'd be nice to have that from like other people online, but as long as I'm comfortable sharing what I made, then that is my metric. Are you comfortable with sharing what you made? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, great. Put it out there, right? And then that's it. You cut it off there. You stop there. You go back. You do that other video idea if you have one, and then you loop in. You rinse and repeat it. That's how I want to go about doing it. And with this list and me talking as much as I do, I don't think there'll be any problem with that. The only thing I need is like stakes. Like what happens, like tables, if you're still here, what happens when somebody does make you laugh and you're trying to laugh, right? You give them Discord Nitro. Okay, that's cool. I have to find, okay, what am I gonna do? Like there are many things people have done. You've had people dye their hair, like I said before, cut their hair off. You've had people eat hot sauce. You have people donate. You give money or whatever. Like there's a world of things to do. I try to figure out what those things are. Like what works for me, right? What's something I can do that I really don't want to. And that's the thing. I think that's the part of it, is that if I'm going to do this in a way where there may not be anybody here to reward for me losing. So I have to kind of put it on myself. Like, what do I dread happening so much that I have to get first place in Mario Kart? My life depends on it. my life depends on it. If I don't come in first place, like, bro, like, I have to come in first place. Like, I have to. That's what I'm saying. Like, that has to be something where I have to find that, right? Like, I know Tables would not be happy with giving somebody a Discord Nitro, because he's been doing this for like, what, 15 streams now, whatever, however many it's been. And it's like, somebody finally got me. You finally got me? Like, okay. I don't want to see he be upset, but like, like, it's not fun to have to admit that, right? Like, you've gone so far, you've done this long enough, you know that you don't want to have to, why now? Like, what video was so funny that I had to laugh at it, that now I have to give you Discord Nitro? Like, I'm like, that's too, it's been too long, right? Like, those tickers where it's like this many days without an accident, right? It's been 15 streams without a single laugh. Like why are you gonna out of all of them, now you gotta be it? Like, come on, man. Like, come on, don't do it like that. You could have did anything, right? But just don't do that. So it'll be the week. I know it is. You're gonna be blown away. Like, I know. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be like, dang, they finally got him. I'm gonna be there too. I hope to be there. I hope to be there. But so I'm gonna take the time to figure out that for me. Because everybody has something. Like, some people, and there's no shame in it. There's no shame in it if it's the same thing. Like, I wouldn't necessarily choose Discord Nitro, but I want to choose something, right? And then I also feel like it's on me to find, because some of these ideas, you can still be, I feel, a content creator without. Okay, let me. I know what I'm trying to say. Let me pick the right words for it. There's nothing wrong with having the elements of. I'm speaking to myself here. I'm not speaking about anybody else. There's nothing wrong with having the elements of content creation while looking at it differently. And I say that to say, I would like to have like a community, for example, or be part of a community where I can have people like to actually, watch and like engage with. But it's on me to find the things that's worth their time. That's really the biggest thing, is that I'm not big enough in terms of like community and watch views or whatever, because I don't think what I'm doing is big enough to make people care. And that's fine. I don't see there's a problem with that. It's just knowing, it's like knowing which lane you want to drive in. You could either drive in for a three-lane street. You can drive in the middle lane, you can drive in the right lane, you can drive in the left lane, right? Most of those lanes have intended purposes. Usually the right lane is the lane, here in America at least, the right lane is the lane you usually stay in when you're going to turn off the street. You're either going to turn right, or you're either going to, I guess in the highway sense, like for a highway sense, you're either going to turn right because you're about to exit. You're either going to stay in the middle lane because you're just trying to be not in the lane that is the right lane. You just want to let people, take that lane. Or you're going to be in the left lane, where that's usually the lane that moves the fastest, because there's no exit or any kind of interference, if you will, on the left side of the highway. So it's just about knowing what lane you're going to be in. I want to be in a lane where if I go live, I'm not expecting anybody to show up. When people do show up, that's great. Just as great as it is when people don't show up. And I want to be transparent about that, because it makes it to where I know my lane. Like, I know in this lane, I'm going to be able to, maybe I'll make a joke and nobody will laugh at it. So it has to be funny enough to me to even say it. Or I'll be playing a game and I'm not looking for anyone to like join in. If it's a multiplayer game, for example, if there's somebody here to join in, I might be live and somebody might be at work. Somebody might be at a wedding. You might be at a funeral, God forbid. But you could be doing anything else. You're not necessarily, oh my goodness, Kel's live, you drop everything. I don't really see that being the case, at least not currently. And even if I did get to a point where that is the case, then okay, maybe it's time to switch lanes, right? Like you stay. I don't want to say switch lanes like in a term of like you kind of switch up, you know, but you kind of, you make an adjustment. Sometimes you have to get out the left lane, right? Even if you're riding in the left lane and you're driving really fast, like you're probably going like 80 and a 60, you know, whatever. I'm not saying I do that, I'm not speaking from experience, but I'm just saying, imagine if you do, and you're in that lane, and let's say somebody's behind you, and the other two lanes are really full. So you can technically take the time, slow down, try to get to the middle lane, so let somebody else pass you up if you feel nice or inclined to do so, and then you get right back over it. Not everybody's gonna be that nice, you know. Not everybody's that nice, but you might decide that that's what you want to do. Then there's nothing wrong with adjusting, because adjusting is a part of, like, you know, being human, and being human brings on change and stuff like that. So it makes sense where you can decide that, okay, I'm going to stay here while I can, or, you know, because this is where I'm comfortable. Like this is where I'm at right now, right? I'm in the middle of the lane, right? Or imagine if you think of like the right lane. Imagine you're in the middle lane or the left lane or the right lane, but you can stay in the right lane and not exit, obviously. But let's just say you're just going, you're going, and then let's say along the way you stop, somebody gets in the car, or more people join your car, you get a bigger car or whatever. Okay, now you have to exit because now you gotta go somewhere else. Like, it's time for you to change directions, if you will. Like you may be going north, now it's time for you to go west, or you may be going north and now it's time for you to go east. Like, it's that analogy to me makes most sense, because it's, as things change, you have to, and then you go the course that makes most sense as you change. So for now, this is the lane I'm in. I'm a come on stream and I'm gonna talk for however long I feel is necessary. If there's people in chat to talk to, then I'll talk to them, and then I'll transition into a game that I know is on my backlog list that I have to finish, because God forbid if I don't finish these games, right? And then, you know, I'll go into the next one. If there's a game I ever want to replay, right? Like, let's say I want to play Mario Maker 2 because that's a game I've been known to be in the top of a category in. Okay, that's great. I'll come in and play that. I don't want to find myself just playing it just to play it. I'd rather play it and then know, okay, well, that's the hard part, is trying to figure out what do I do as an incentive, right? Because the easiest thing is to reward somebody, but how do you know, that's what I'm trying to figure out. And it doesn't always have to be something like, I don't want to say demonic, but like, it doesn't have to be something so drastic. Like, you know, I don't want to cut my hair again. Like, you see, I'm not in the best shape right now, you know what I'm saying? I haven't been to the barbershop in a while, but it's like, I don't have to necessarily go bald. I mean, I just shaved and I already have, like, I think there's some, I don't know if they're called ingrown hairs or whatever, but there are hairs that, like, are not coming to the surface, so I have to, like, figure out how to, like, get that to, you know, undo that, because it's a bit painful. Ingrown hairs are painful. The longer you let it sit, you know, the more painful it can be. So it's a matter of, like, when you shave, you just gotta shave a certain way, so that way that doesn't happen. And I didn't shave that way, so that's why it did happen. So once that's taken care of, my hair goes back. You probably will see me with a beard after this, because, like, I don't have to shave again to let something like that happen again, right? And so with that being said, I'll probably find something else, right? Maybe I have to find, you know, the only thing I can really think of is, this is probably why I feel like I should probably play the games first. Imagine for games that have this, that I go through and I play, what is it? Let's say Super Mario Brothers, or maybe not Super Mario Brothers, because that game is kind of designed a certain way. Let's say Super Mario World, right? Let's say I'm playing Super Mario World, and imagine I put my save data on the line. That's my incentive, right? So whatever game I'm playing, then your save file's on the line. So let's say I'm playing Mario Kart Tour, or not Tour, Mario Kart World or Mario Kart 8, for example. I go online and I say, I cannot come in second place. I cannot come in anything less than first place for 10 races, right? If I do fall short of that, I will delete my save file. That's pretty big. Like, that's like either that or I gotta keep doing it. Imagine locking myself to doing something continually until I reach this. Like, you know, sometimes, like I said, you don't have to necessarily lose something as like a, not, I won't say punishment, but like let's say it's the for lack of a better word, it's the torture of knowing you have to keep doing it until you get it. Imagine you want to come in first place 3 times back to back to back. The stream doesn't end until I get first place 3 times in Mario Kart Online. Okay, how good are you at Mario Kart Online to where you can do that, right? And then you bump. Okay, cool. That's one stream. Let's say you're good. You do that. That's one stream. Next stream, I'm not. The stream doesn't end until I get more first place 5 times back to back to back. Not like I got first one race, 2 races later I got first again. No, I'm talking back to back to back, right? The stream doesn't end until that happens, right? So I gotta then. But if I do end stream, like let's say, guys, I'm tired. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go to sleep. Okay, yeah, let's say that happens, right? In the midst of you trying to get that save file is gone. All right, I'm getting that Discord Nitro. That's the what's the word I'm looking for? That's the equivalent, right? Like you gotta get good, right? The only way you really gonna get first place back to back like that is if you get lobbies where there's no hackers, and you actually get the carts that work for you, you know, that get you like the best speed and stuff like that, and then you do your thing. You don't get Mario Karted, right? I think that works, but I personally think that works best when you already have footage of you already having your save, like the progress you've already made. So I wouldn't put nothing on my Metroid Prime save file until I beat Metroid Prime, right? Like how fast can I get the, let's see, like if I do like a randomizer, how fast can I get the items I need? Or I make a bet of, you can even do that too. Like you don't have to, now I think about it, you do not have to necessarily give a reward to somebody in chat, because somebody may not be watching in chat all the time. So let's say I've done this before. Let's say I do a thing where I've done this before, but the stakes need to be a little bit bigger. I'm playing somebody's viewer level in Mario Maker 2, and I don't beat their level within like 10 minutes. What I've done before was I would gift them a sub to whoever they wanted, right? That's their reward for me not doing what I was supposed to do. So you get to tell me who you want your tier 1 to, right? It could be to me. I'd appreciate that. I always appreciate that if it goes to me. But let's say you want it to Pokimane, you want it to Amaranth, you want it to whoever, you know, like any other. I'm not just picking women. Okay, hold on. Okay, give me a second. I'm not just picking women. It can be anybody. But that's what I'm trying to say. It can really be anybody, is what I'm trying to say. So you decide you want to do that. That's fine, and then it goes to whoever, right? That's the reward. The only problem I have with that I need to change if I do that again is that the stipulation has to be bigger, right? I probably wouldn't give that to people who actually don't. Let's see. It would be like a kind of draw, right? Like let's say if I had more people who submitted viewer levels, because there are oftentimes I play Mario Maker, people come in with viewer levels. Let's say I did that, but unless that was the only person, then I would do like a draw system, like, you know, like you enter, like you have to enter to be able to win. Like you spend channel points, for example, to enter. Let's say I make it 300 points. You follow, that's 200 points right there, right? That's still good. Maybe it's where your followers, for example. You do that. You have people submit, like, hey, I want to enter in to win this. Okay, great. And then I go through, and let's say my goal is to finish 50 super expert levels, or God, that sounds like a nightmare. Of 50 not dying in no death normal, for example, up to 50 levels, or maybe 100 levels, since it's no death normal. And then if at any point I do die, whoever was entered into that raffle, but depending on how far I get, or maybe if I just put that much on the line, let's say like a tier 3, for example, I will gift you a tier 3 to whoever wins the raffle, but you have to enter. Entering is free, but you have to follow or have the channel points already, right? No, you have to have the channel points already. One way to get those channel points for free is by following, right? And then of course after that you can unfollow whatever, but unfollowing and following again, far as I'm aware, it doesn't give you those points back, right? It's kind of like Twitch knows if you follow somebody, and then they know if you also unfollowed. I don't know if there's like a time frame on it, but I could do that. That's something that I think is pretty easy to say. All right, my goal today is to complete this amount of levels, right? And if I fail, then whoever wins this spin the wheel thing or this raffle thing, they're the ones who are rewarded the actual subscription, right? To whoever, to my channel, to whoever else's. I don't really care, right? Or if that's not an option and nobody's in chat, then what I could do is, okay, cool, hey, I'm just gonna pick a random streamer, right? Like, like kind of like Mr. Beast, where he's like, we're just donating money to, small streamers or whatever. Then at that point, I'll just pick somebody random, right? Like I couldn't figure out who to give this up to. Nobody in chat told me who to give it to, so I'm just gonna give it to somebody random. You can have this subscription, congratulations, So that'll be that idea. And I won't be able to do that all the time, obviously. And of course, even if I do beat or get 100 levels beaten and know that's normal, then nobody wins anything. I win. You don't get anything. You get to watch me be good at the game. Sounds fair to me. And you follow too, so you get into the raffle. Sounds fair to me. But that's just an idea. Like, that's just, again, one of those video ideas that if that's something I do execute, then that's something I would want to make sure that I at least have fun doing. So that way it's easy for me to do it. Because if I'm doing it just because I need to make a video, I'm not gonna have fun doing that. And some people are built different. Some people are willing to just, not so much willing, but some people are able to go through making a video just for video's sake. And given how they make videos, that may be fine. You may be able to make a video that makes a certain amount of views, a certain amount of likes. People like it, people enjoy it because they're liking it and watching it. And I'm not in the current lane to have that be the case. Talk about lanes again, no Tory. Then that would be the best way for me to go about that. So a lot of talking just to get to that point, but I feel like I've talked enough at this point. I feel like I've gotten some good ideas formulating, and if I don't, I'll just go back and watch the VOD. I'll just go back and rewatch it again. So I appreciate you watching this far. If you've been listening to me talk this long, if you're watching the VOD on YouTube, type in smells. Type in smells in the chat. Not chat, in the comment section. Type in smells if you made it this far in the VOD, and that's how I know you made this far. Unless you've been watching live, you're just doing it just to do that. That's also fine too. But I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I wished I had a game that I could play. I don't really think I want to do the not video idea stuff right now, but I'll come up with something, and then maybe I'll announce it, so that way it's easier for people to know when it's gonna happen. I think that's another thing too. Is that's why they say scheduling is such a big deal, because if people know when something's gonna happen, then it makes it easier for them to see if they can even make it. So let's say Tuesday, 12 o'clock, I'll be live trying to make sure that I can beat how many levels in Mario Maker 2. If I fail, you could win a tier 3 to whoever on Twitch or whatever. I would do that, but I'd want to make a I guess a graphic or something to where like a post to where you are aware that's going to happen, right? And then something comes up, I can tell you. If you're in the Discord server, that's another way to find out. But I mean, I'll post on YouTube or whatever. And I guess I don't have that for people on Twitch, because Twitch doesn't have a posting thing. But I mean, I guess I can schedule it. Twitch has a way to schedule it the same way YouTube has a way to schedule it. I probably don't like scheduling streams on YouTube, but if I have to, I will. I'll just, whatever, I'll do that. So I'll be looking into that, and hopefully you look into joining if you care to join. So I'm gonna go ahead and end. It was nice talking to you. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about the camera. It was nice talking to you. I hope to see you back some point in the future, whenever that may be.